Hello, welcome to Dundrell's podcast. I'm your host, Justin. So today we're reviewing a new horror film, The Black Phone, which came out in Canada in 2022, directed by Scott Derrickson, starring Ethan Hawke, Mason Fames, Madeline McGraw, Jeremy Davis, and James Ransom. From he was in HBO's Generation Kill, um, the second season of The Wire, right? And he was also in Sinister 1 and 2, which this film was directed by the same guy who directed Sinister and the first Doctor Strange film. Also, fun fact: the movie was written by screenwriter C. Robert Cargill, who was Carlisle on Spill.com's website, where he was a critic, right? If you ever listened to Spill.com, which was a podcast from back in the day where they would review movies, and then Corey would animate them and put them up on YouTube, right? Which sadly Spill.com is no longer a thing, thanks to Corey's dumbass idea of selling it to Hollywood.com, right? But now, Corey and Leon now have a new show on YouTube called Double Toasted, while Carlisle is now a screenwriter for Hollywood making movies. So yeah, this movie was based off a short story by Joe Hill, also called The Black Phone, which Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King, which is funny because the movie is about a child murderer, and one of my friends, Kevin, has a theory that Stephen King is not a child murderer, but has a thing for kids. Right, which it's implied that the mass killer in the film also may have a thing for kids. Sick motherfucker. So the movie's about a 13-year-old boy named Finn who gets bullied in school despite being on the baseball team, and he's a pretty good pitcher. So that kind of does not make a lot of sense to me. That okay, this kid's a jock, but he gets bullied in school. Like, come on, it was the jocks that would bully the kids. Yeah, so the movie starts off with a Stranger Things kind of feel, where it takes place in the small town in the 80s. Small town in the 80s. You have the Finn, who's a 13-year-old boy, lives with his sister and his alcoholic father, right? And his sister has psychic powers, right? And gets beaten up for it by his father, right? Because their mother had psychic powers, and she killed herself because of it, right? And boy, there's a pretty bad scene where the father beats the young daughter, with a belt, and it was pretty bad. Which, this movie's already hard to watch because you have a pedo fucking serial killer played by Ethan Hawke, who has he has three different voices he uses in the film. He has the scary voice where he has the fucking devil mask, and he acts all intimidating, where he pretty much acts like he does on that on the Moon Knight show when he plays Arthur the Shadow Knight, right? And then he has the very effeminate voice where he's like, "I won't hurt you. I won't touch you unless you want me to." And it's like, holy fuck, this guy. So the movie's about this kid gets kidnapped by the grabber, who is famous for this small town because he grabs kids and they go missing. So he's kind of like this Freddy Krueger kind of character, right? There's even like a thing where they reference where the kid Finn is afraid to say his name because he thinks there's a rumor that he'll come get you if you say his name, right? So yeah, what happens is the kid gets locked in a soundproof room in the basement of the serial killer played by Ethan Hawke, right? And there's a black phone on the wall, and uh, the black phone, which is disconnected, rings, and it allows Finn to communicate with the souls of the other dead children, which he all knows, and some of which was some of them were his friend, the really badass Mexican kid. And it's like, holy shit, if the badass Mexican kid couldn't beat Ethan Hawke, what chance does Finney have, right? Yeah, which there's a scene where the badass Mexican gets into a fight, and it was very well choreographed, and he beats the shit out of this bully, right? And you know, these kids are in middle school or whatever. You know, at my school we would have, like, you know, schoolyard fights. Usually, I don't know if in America when the kids would fight, you would just let them beat the shit where someone looks like they're about to die, right? And when I was in school, usually, if another kid went down, and the other kid would try to beat the kid while he was down, people would jump in. We wouldn't let the kid. We wouldn't let it get to the point where somebody would fucking die, which it looked like the Mexican kid was gonna kill the bully, right? But I guess he was a bully, so nobody gave a shit. But still, man, yeah, we had referees, it's funny. In our schoolyard fights, we would have referees, and it was usually a chick that would ref the fights to make sure we wouldn't get out of hand. Which I don't know, was always funny to me. Right. So the movie, it's pretty dark. The cinematography is pretty good, and it's a lot of dark subject matter in this film. Almost as dark as Possum, which is probably one of the darkest films we've reviewed on this channel. That and Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, which we deleted that review because I was like, fuck this movie. Yeah. So the movie, I liked the movie, but I thought it was good, but I really thought it was unnecessary. The subplot in the movie where you had the psychic sister trying to use her powers to find her brother. I thought that plot line in the movie didn't need to be in there, and it was just filler. Where the plot where the kid is scared in the basement and is getting help from the ghosts, which there are cheap jump scares in the movie. Of course, this is a Blumhouse movie, so of course there has to be. Was good enough, right? The ghost talking to the kid, giving him advice to either sneak out or fight the pedo serial killer, right? And there's some humorous scenes in the movie where you have like the guy from the second season of The Wire and Generation Kill. I forget the actor's name. Plays the brother of Ethan Hawke, who's this coked out unemployed guy who's living on his brother's couch, trying to figure out who the fucking serial killer is, right? And he's just doing lines of coke. He has this map on his wall, right? And then right, and he's trying to figure out who the fucking serial killer is, right? And I thought, okay, that didn't need to be in the movie. It was only in the movie as like a fake out, really. Spoiler alert, but yeah, man. I don't know. I really that didn't need to be in there. I think here's the thing. I know that sometimes you gotta use humor, right, and like dark subjects because, you know, it keeps the fucking movie from being too dark and depressing. And otherwise, you know, people won't finish the film, right? Like kind of like why in Berserk you would have Puck, who the comic relief character, like once in a while make dumb jokes and shonen references because you know Berserk would get so dark it would make people like want to drop it, right? Because of all the you know fucked up shit. But I don't know, man. I thought okay that could have stayed, but the fucking psychic sister shit that didn't need to be in the film at all. Yeah. So overall, I thought the movie was good. It was good, and the climax of the film was very good. It was very satisfying, right? Where you got to see the final showdown between our boy Finn versus pedo Ethan Hawke, which is fucking funny because I had this fucked up dream last night, where like it was a bunch of random shit, but like that there was like Maya Hawke was like living next door to me, and like she was like Maya Hawke, Ethan Hawke's daughter, with fucking Uma Thurman, was like you know flirting with me or whatever, right? And like Ethan Hawke was just like you know in the driveway just staring me down. I'm like, fuck you, Ethan Hawke. Well, it's a funny thing. I slept in this morning because you know, because like. I went back to I woke up I went back to sleep hoping I would have another dream with Maya Hawke and like nothing happened. I almost slept until like 9 a.m. I'm like holy fuck, god damn it dog, why didn't you wake me up? Fuck yeah. So yeah, so I don't know, I think the movie's good. It was satisfying. You had a satisfying conclusion. It was a good story, but I thought the psychic sister plot was you know distracting. Didn't need to be in there. But yeah, it was a great film. But like one problem I had with the film is that there's a kill in the movie, and you know it's going to happen because there's this quick cut where a character's head is clearly replaced with like a mannequin prop or something, and it just telegraphed that oh yeah that guy's gonna get killed in the next second, and it happens. So yeah, that's the one downside of practical effects. Like seriously, well I guess if it was a CGI head it would have been just as noticeable, but whatever, right? So yeah, I'm giving the film a 6.5 out of 10. I've been giving out too many 7s recently. A lot of you guys called me out on my Suicide Squad review. We're like, he actually thinks this movie's good? Yes, I actually think Suicide Squad is good, okay? Yeah, so this is like a very late review. It's like fucking midnight, so I'm probably not going to upload this till tomorrow morning. So yeah, peace guys, and have a good day.